Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. We've covered this week's X-Men books. Now it's going to move on to this week's Avengers books. Kicking this off, we have Avengers Inc. #1. So this is kind of a continuation of the Wasp miniseries from earlier this year. Same writer, in fact. Let's see which. Al Ewing. But anyway, so during Avengers Inc., or during the Wasp miniseries, we found out that Janet Van Dyne has turned a club she owns into what's supposed to be something of a lounge for superheroes called Jarvis's, with former Avengers butler Edward Jarvis basically running the place. Also had some dealings with Whirlwind. So we begin at the Raft. Whirlwind, Dave Cannon, is seemingly shot in the head by someone saying justice is served. The next day, Janet is at the Raft to to find out what's what. And even though there's some very complicated history between her and Whirlwind, she's not like happy. Oh, one of mine is dead. Hell yeah, no, But she points out he was murdered while awaiting in his cell while awaiting trial. The guard isn't exactly doesn't really seem to give a shit one way or the other. However, it should be noted that there were a few others as well. The Griffin, Quicksand, Anaconda, and Ice Master, and one other. Oh, Pile Driver. So Janet has the files from all the victims and is talking with the mayor. With Janet kind of suggesting, hey, got. But Mayor Cage is kind of trying to suggest, hey, maybe you could, look into this. While Janet is like, you got the Thunderbolts, Luke. But yeah, the Thunderbolts can't. It's not in their purview. So yeah. But she agrees to investigate the whole thing. Speaking with the warden, he was saying, "Hey, look, if you need to take the remains to Avengers Mountain or wherever to study them, go, all the forms are already signed." But she goes in and investigates, shrinking down to get a closer look, noting that whatever it was that shot Whirlwind, it wasn't a bullet. Explaining that bullets come out of a gun hot. Impacts are bloody, but there's not even a trace of burned tissue, and the wound edge is clean. But of course, what else? Like a significantly cooler projectile cut its way in. While she's going over this, Quicksand appears to be falling off the slab she's on. The security guard notices that Quicksand is gone and is then probably attacked by Quicksand. Quicksand doesn't know doesn't know what's going on. Ice Master freezes, but all of them are now awake. They're not happy either. kind of killing the plan that the idea that maybe this was an escape attempt. All of them seem to be getting up except for Whirlwind. But Whirlwind does get up. The wound on his forehead now seemingly diamond shaped now and going red, as are his eyes. But Whirlwind and Wasp do what they can to subdue the others. But Whirlwind says he's not Danny Cannon. He's not Whirlwind. His name is Shade. Vic Shade. An alias used previously by the Vision. Wasp manages to get to convince the Warden to at least let Vic Shade help her out. Of course, there are conditions. A 24 hour supervision, tracking bracelet, daily report to him personally, and he does not get his costume. And so, back at Jarvis's, Victor Shade and Janet Van Dyne are beginning their investigation. However, elsewhere, or earlier that day, two Ant-Mans are discussing everything. Are discussing things. Hank Pym and Eric O'Grady. And it seems the mastermind behind the entire thing was none other than Dr. Pym. And that is where the issue ends. Interesting. I'm curious as to what Pym's angle is in all this. I kind of like the idea of a kind of noir mystery style book focusing on superheroes, but noir style mysteries are always usually a fun read. Moving on though to our next book, we've got Captain Marvel: Dark Tempest #3. Where we left off, Carol and the 5 civilians she'd been that had been teleported with her to the planet that's the home of mysterious Nada, were dealing with the hardships of the planet. But Nada and Nitro came back around, and Carol got put in Nada's pocket, as it were. And Nada offered the five who came with Carol power to survive the planet. So Carol's in a strange other place, basically a Tesseract pocket. She encounters some type of organic mechanical hybrid creature. There's a brief fight between the two of them, but the creature offers its hand in peace, and the only thing that seems expressive on it is what looks like a circle on where its face would be. And Carol kind of gets the idea that perhaps she is suggesting that she fly through the circle, the portal. On the planet, Nitro is letting the 5 civilians discuss whether or not to take her up, or not. A Nitro are watching as the 5 civilians are trying to figure out if they're going to accept Nada's offer of power or not. The alien baby that they found is proving to be a little harder to take care of than they would have expected. But Nada intends to use Nitro's powers as a means of catalyzing, a catalyst of sorts to empower the five civilians. Should be noted that this appears Nada's leaking when she once again makes the offer. This is pointed out. But civilians become the Feral Five. Back on Earth, Jess and some of Carol's other friends are attempting to figure out a way, well, find Carol and bring her back, as well as and the kids too. Carol gets out of the Tesseract pocket and has this plan where she finds Blakebot, who explains what's happened. Then Carol finds the Feral Five and discovers that they're actually working together and kind of conquering the surface of the planet, it seems. And they've also managed to create a trap for her that she springs. And that is where the issue ends. Interesting. A constant thing that is a plot point that's constantly being brought up is what happened to the others that live on Nada's planet. With it being explained that, oh, well, the rich hid underground in bunkers. The poor just evolved up on the surface. And I kind of get the feeling that maybe I'm beginning at some slight eating the rich is bad actually vibes. So we'll see where the rest of the story goes. One or two more issues left on it. So moving on to our next book, we've got Daredevil #1. Where we last saw Daredevil, he had defeated the Beast, gone to hell, defeated the Beast, and seemingly sacrificed himself to do so. But he'd been returned to life as a priest, Father Matthew. So, we open with Father Matthew in a cab in Midtown. His driver is Muslim, and with traffic, looks like he's going to be late for his sundown prayers. And so, but Matthew says, "Hey, pull over here, and, do your prayers." But later that evening, Matt returns to St. Nicholas's youth home that he and Father Priest and Javier are running, checking in with the other students. It seems that Javi states that Matt has a gift for dealing with the kids. But one of the troubled youths there is a guy that was who was part of her life before she came to St. Nicholas's outside hollering for her. Matt basically says, get out of here, don't come back. And then, Matt takes the guy and his flunkies down pretty quickly, and they run. Well, Matt feels like he's being watched by someone. He is, in fact, being watched by Daredevil, Elektra. When he sleeps, he remembers his previous life. His life is the man without fear. And someone is keeping the lights on at St. Nicholas. It's Elektra. Some of it through official means, some of it through bribes. But, yeah. Elektra runs into a spectral being, which appears to be a man with horns, who promptly defeats her. Matt wakes up at the youth home to start. Well, Daredevil is there and very nearly kills him. Only it's not. Well, it may be Elektra's physical form. It's not her. Matt fights the being that's basically possessed Elektra and manages to dispel it from Elektra's body. And he knows that there's some. He's well aware there's more to. There's elements of his past that he's trying to hide, but he puts on one of his old out, basically the original Daredevil outfit. You know, black long sleeve shirt, black slacks, and a simple a makeshift mask tied around his head. Heads over to Elektra's, finishes the exorcism, but in doing so, Matt remembers everything about his past. And Elektra figures, well, now that he knows, well, she probably put the wheels in motion to get his life back. So when he leaves St. Nicholas, but he says he's not leaving. And he doesn't think he can. But the next day, a good day with the kids. That night, however, Father Matthew puts on his old red costume and begins listening. And the police are outside St. Matthew's hollering for him. And that is where the issue ends. Interesting start to things. I appreciate the fact that writer Solid and Ahmed opted not to just gloss over these conclusions of Chip Zdarsky's run, and just have it, start back up. Oh yes, Matt Murdock, Blind Attorney of Hell's Kitchen, severely Daredevil. But no, I appreciate we're getting some connective tissue between the two arcs. It's quite nice. It's something you don't often see. Usually, the connective tissue is something like, oh, well, the same primary characters are here. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Incredible Hulk number 4. Where we left off, Hulk and Charlie had needed to deal with ancient monsters attempting to reclaim the Earth, and it seems that the Hulk is a part of their prophecies. So these should be in Florida. A man named Juke is walking along the wetlands and enjoying a few beers. And he sees his girl standing in the water. Goes out to her. Well, she's still just as dead as he thought she was, and well, he becomes just as dead as she is when she goes out to him. Days later, Banner and Charlie arrive Storm's coming in pretty hard. Banner and Charlie get to know each other, and Banner makes suggestions along the lines of, get away, basically trying to suggest that Charlie get away from him and Hulk in as polite way as possible. Pointing out, well, hey, you're 16, you rebuild a classic car, you get a job, or you get set yourself in a college town, get a job fixing cars, save up, you can write your own ticket, basically. But they stop at a rest stop. Banner tells her very clearly that being near Hulk, is the gamma radiation isn't going to rub off on her or nothing. She's not going to get Hulk powers, though he does buy her a Hulk plushie. News story pops up mentioning the death of Charlie's father, and that she is being sought for questioning. But apparently Banner got her some food and left. Charlie now realizing she's being sought by law enforcement. Well, she's a bit scared, runs back out into the storm. Banner, meanwhile, is also out in the storm, but something's got his attention. While Charlie's running after Banner, she sees Fred Earl standing in the water, calling to her, wanting Charlie to pick him up. As for what's caught Banner's attention, it's Man-Thing. And, well, those who know fear burn at the touch of Man-Thing, and Man-Thing grabs him, and, well, hulks out, and is then pulled into the Nexus of Realities, where Ted Sallis, the man who became Man-Thing, is able to talk to Banner and say, "Hey, something's going on. I think you kind of already know a bit about it, but the eldest is causing problems in the Nexus, and well." Adding that the eldest has awakened more in the swamp than just Man-Thing. But Charlie goes towards Earl, pointing out that but noticing that there's something that seems to not be right about things aside from her dead friend. And yeah, it's a giant swamp creature that appears to be something like one of the old one of the sirens of old, where you had a what appeared to be an island with, like I said, with mythological sirens on it, and the idea would be that sailors would go to the island and for the sirens, and then they were part of the island. The island was actually a monster that ate them. Similar concept, but with dead people calling out to loved ones. And additional dead people attached. Yeah. So next is the limit of the Swamp Witch, so I guess this is the Swamp Witch. But that is where the issue ends. This has been a solid Hulk run so far. I mean, we're only 4 issues in. I swear one of these I gotta read Immortal Hulk. Moving on to our last book for the moment, we've got Alligator Loki. So this is a one-shot collecting bunch of Alyssa Wong's Alligator Loki webcomics from Marvel Unlimited. There does going to be an overarching story. Loki pissed off Thor, opened a portal, jumped through, Thor reached through it and pulled out Alligator Loki. But Thor decided that Alligator Loki was far too adorable to be, to be mad at. But we see various other things. Alligator Loki trying to get Mjolnir. Causing problems with butterflies. Yeah. Traveling any and everywhere he can. We also get guest appearances by other Marvel characters, such as two members of the I think it was the Captain's Corps, the group, the Captain's Network, group of additional Captains America. Shang-Chi, Black Cat, Kraven, Doctor Doom, the Rhino, a few others pop up as well in background spots. But our two members of the Captain's Network come upon Alligator Loki, and well, they just had to break. They ended up breaking him out of the zoo, so he can cause more mischief. And ended up introducing Alligator Loki to Ghost Spider, looks like Miles Morales, America Chavez, and Miss Marvel, and Squirrel Girl, who has alligator mule treats. But we also get some additional run-ins with Doctor Doom. Alligator Loki being dragged along by Mjolnir briefly. We get a cameo from Iron Fist. Brief shot of Krakoa. Alligator Loki enjoying a spa day with Hela. Loki returning and apparently not being too wanting to retake his place within, everything. But it seems everyone prefers Alligator Loki to Loki. Loki tries to wrap Alligator Loki into one of his schemes, but well, eventually they decide to work together. And of course, Loki betrays his alligator variant and still manages to screw things up. And when dealing with Winters of Asgard, well, Alligator Loki is kept nice and toasty by some of the infernal powers, including Mephisto and a few others whom I'm not entirely sure of. And really, just a lot of it is largely just, There's also a surprise party that's set up for Alligator Loki, and Loki manages to trick him into attending. But overall, just, fun stuff. No dialogue, really. Just, like I said, fun stuff. And, it is one of two books this week that is collected from content from Marvel's digital app. But that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Big shout out to Patreon patrons Xander Lee. Thank you so much for your support. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Mastodon, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.